The opening line of Blitz is "Do not compromise," which is a short and powerful statement that immediately sets the tone for the movie's gritty and intense storyline. This opening line suggests that the protagonist, Tom Brandt, played by Jason Statham, is a no-nonsense cop who is determined to catch a serial killer, no matter the cost. The line also implies that there may be ethical or moral dilemmas that Brandt will have to confront as he pursues the killer, and that he will need to stay true to his principles in order to succeed. Overall, the introduction effectively draws the audience in and sets the stage for a thrilling and suspenseful crime thriller. The main characters in Blitz are Tom Brandt, played by Jason Statham, a tough and unconventional police detective who is tasked with catching a serial killer who is targeting police officers. Porter Nash, played by Paddy Considine, a gay police officer who is paired with Brandt to help catch the killer. Nash is struggling with personal issues, including drug addiction and a failing relationship. Barry Weiss, played by Aidan Gillen, a journalist who is covering the story of the serial killer and becomes obsessed with the case. Weiss uses his connections in the criminal underworld to try and get ahead of the police investigation. Elizabeth Falls, played by Zaw Ashton, a young police officer who is assigned to work with Brandt and Nash. Falls is ambitious and eager to prove herself, but she is also inexperienced and unsure of herself. These four characters drive the plot of the movie and are central to the film's themes of police corruption, personal demons, and the lengths people will go. The beginning of Blitz opens with a series of quick cuts that show various police officers patrolling the streets of London. As the camera moves through the city, we hear a radio report about a brutal attack on a police officer. The report mentions that this is the third attack in a matter of weeks and that the police are still searching for the perpetrator. The scene then cuts to a rundown apartment building, where we see a man, later revealed to be the serial killer, getting ready to leave his apartment. The man, who is wearing a hoodie and a baseball cap, looks out the window and watches as a group of police officers pass by on the street below. The man then leaves the building and walks down the street, where he encounters a lone police officer. The officer tries to question him, but the man attacks him and brutally beats him to death. This scene sets the tone for the rest of the film and establishes the killer as a ruthless and dangerous adversary for the police to catch. The opening of Blitz is fast-paced and intense, drawing the viewer into the story and setting up the central conflict of the film. The middle of Blitz focuses on the investigation into the serial killer's crimes, with Tom Brandt, Jason Statham, leading the charge to catch the killer. As the body count rises and the killer continues to elude the police, tensions begin to rise within the department, with accusations of corruption and incompetence being thrown around. During this time, Brandt is paired up with Porter Nash, Paddy Considine, a police officer who is struggling with drug addiction and relationship problems. The two men clash initially, but eventually form a close bond as they work together to track down the killer. Meanwhile, Barry Weiss, Aidan Gillen, a journalist covering the case, becomes increasingly obsessed with the story and begins to insert himself into the police investigation, which ends in a shocking twist that changes everything. Overall, the middle of Blitz is marked by intense action, suspense, and a growing sense of desperation as the police struggle to catch the elusive killer. The characters' personal demons and conflicts add depth to the story and make the viewer invested in their fates. The climax scene of Blitz takes place in an abandoned building where the killer is hiding out. Tom Brandt, Jason Statham, Porter Nash, Paddy Considine, and Elizabeth Falls, Zaw Ashton, confront the killer, who is revealed to be Weiss, the journalist who had been covering the story. During the confrontation, Weiss taunts Brandt and the other officers, revealing that he had been motivated to kill police officers because of a traumatic experience he had as a child. In a tense standoff, Brandt manages to outsmart Weiss and take him down, but not before Weiss fatally wounds Nash. The scene is marked by intense action and a sense of tragedy. As Nash's death highlights the cost of the pursuit of justice, the confrontation also brings to light the themes of corruption and personal demons that have been simmering throughout the film, as Weiss' motivations are revealed to be deeply personal and connected to his own trauma. Overall, the climax of Blitz is a satisfying and emotionally charged conclusion to the film's tense and suspenseful storyline. The last scene of Blitz takes place at Porter Nash's funeral, following his death. In the climactic confrontation with the killer, Tom Brandt, Jason Statham, is seen standing alone at the gravesite, paying his respects to his fallen partner. As the camera pans out, we see that the funeral is also being attended by other police officers, including Elizabeth Falls, Zaw Ashton, and Brandt's boss, Chief Inspector Roberts, Mark Rylance. The somber music and quiet atmosphere convey the sense of loss and mourning that pervades the scene. The final shot of the film shows Brandt walking away from the gravesite, his future uncertain as he contemplates the cost of his job and the dangers he faces every day. The scene serves as a poignant reminder of the sacrifices made by those who work to protect and serve, and the toll that their work can take on their personal lives. Overall, the last scene of Blitz provides a fitting end to the film's themes of sacrifice and loss, leaving the viewer with a sense of reflection and contemplation. Blitz is based on a novel of the same name by author Ken Bruin. The film was directed by Elliot Lester and produced by Lionsgate and Davis Films. Jason Statham, who plays the lead role of Tom Brandt, is known for his action roles in films such as The Transporter and Crank. Blitz was filmed on location in London, England. The film was released in 2011 and received mixed reviews from critics, with some praising its gritty tone and action sequences, while others criticized its portrayal of violence and its lack of depth. Aidan Gillen, who plays the role of Barry Weiss in the film, is known for his roles in popular TV shows such as Game of Thrones and The Wire. The film's soundtrack features songs by British punk and new wave bands such as The Jam, The Clash, and The Ruts. The film's title, Blitz, refers to the German bombing campaign against London during World War II, which is often used as a metaphor for sudden and overwhelming attacks. The film's budget was around $20 million, and it grossed around $10 million at the box office. Blitz marks the second time that Jason Statham has played a police officer, following his role in the 2005 film Chaos.